welcome back to a new episode of canto-pop, a Cantonese and English bilingual podcast helping you to learn Cantonese and Hong Kong culture. I'm your host, Venus. Thanks for tuning in to another free episode of canto-pop. Before we start, I would like to point your attention to our paid premium content, Hong Kong Dispatch, where you can subscribe via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or if you are on other podcast platform, you can subscribe via Buzzsprout. In Hong Kong Dispatch, we will go even deeper into exploring the culture of Hong Kong and the language of Cantonese, and there will be extra bonus episodes for you to listen to every month. So if that sounds right up your alley, do hit the subscribe button for $6 per month. And did I mention you will also get the full archive of Hong Kong Dispatch once you subscribed? So don't look further if you want to hone your Cantonese skills and get to know Hong Kong culture even better. It's only for the price of a boba. So in the past episodes, I've been trying to provide resources for you guys to learn Cantonese and understanding Hong Kong culture. We kind of touch on a lot of Cantonese movies, and last episode I talked a bit about Leslie Cheung and Anita Mui's life story and how their lives affected the music industry and popular culture in the 90s Hong Kong. And this episode, I think I'm going to give you some pointers to singers and songs that are culturally significant. Because when I was learning English, I realized there were some figures and singers and songs that everybody just knows about. And you being a heritage speaker or a non-native speaker knowing those things make you sound way more relatable and natural. And to give you some ideas, I didn't know who Elton John was when I first arrived in the UK, and people were shocked that I didn't know. They're so famous in your culture, you just expect someone to know of them, you know what I mean? And this episode is about introducing you to those CAF people and the songs associated with them. And a bit of a trailer of this week premium episode. The Hong Kong Dispatch episode is going to be music recommendation, and from a more modern, recent perspective. So I'm going to tell you what's hot and what's trending in the Cantonese music scene at the moment, and the singer and artist that I enjoy the most myself. So that's a bit of a recap and overview of what we've been doing in canto-pop in the recent months. And without further ado, let's get started. So since we talked about Anita Mui and Leslie Cheung in our previous episode, I think I'll start with the song first. So for Anita Mui, I think the most iconic song would be Sunset Melody, not because it was her best song, that's very subjective, but Sunset Melody was a song she sang on her last concert after she revealed to the public that she had entered the final stages of cervical cancer. So the song is called Sunset Melody, 夕陽之歌, and she sang it as a farewell to her fan and the public, and it was Anita's final farewell, and she was in a wedding gown, and I think in some interviews she said she was married to the stage and she was wearing a wedding gown for that occasion. And before she sang Sunset Melody in the concert, she said she quoted a very famous Chinese poem, 夕陽無限好，只是近黃昏. That meant sunset was beautiful, but it's like fleeting and it's fading. It's like very melancholic and very bittersweet. And I think that was a very important moment in the collective memory of Hong Kong people of that generation. So Sunset Melody by Annie Tamui is the first one I would like to tell you about. And for Leslie Cheung, I think my favorite would be Monica, because it's very upbeat and it brings me back to the 80s Hong Kong disco. It's like dance, 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 Monica. It's like I just sing along with it when I'm in the shower and play on my phone. I like it. And but yeah, for a lot of people, the most iconic song of Leslie Cheung would be 風繼續吹, The Wind Blows On. It's originally a Japanese song, and at that time, a lot of songs, Cantonese songs, were remixed, or like they kept the tune from an English song or a Japanese song or Korean song, or maybe even a mainland Chinese song, and then they make the lyrics into Cantonese. That's why the Tian, like the lyricist, is like a very big role at the time. And the most famous lyricist at the time was Lam Zik. He was, I mean, he still is, but he is sort of like semi-retired now and only does really big production. But back in the days, he was one of the best lyricists, and yeah, he and Fei Wong collab a lot of times and made a lot of great hits. I'm going to tell you a bit about Fei Wong in a bit later, but yeah, for Leslie Cheung, I think The Wind Blows On, 風繼續吹, and Monica's are the most famous one, I guess. And I think if you talk about 80s, 90s Hong Kong music, there is no way to go around mentioning Beyond, and they are arguably the most famous Hong Kong rock band during the time. So for them, there are so many great hits. I remember when I was in primary school, I was like a school DJ, and we would play songs, but it wasn't chosen by us, but by our teachers. So they tend to choose something that they like, and a lot of them chose Beyond, and one was Dai Day, and another one was 海闊天空. So I think Boundless Oceans, Vast Skies. So it's like singing about hopes and chasing your dreams, and it's like very positive. And their love song 喜歡你 was also very nice, and it was sang again by Gem, Deng Zike, and she kind of revived it in the younger generation. But sadly, Beyond main, I think frontman, I think it was the frontman, Wang Ga-kui, he died when the band was at its height of popularity during a filming of a reality show in Japan. So the legacy lived on to this day, and these songs are really famous in places with a big Chinese population, and it's so famous in mainland China as well. So Beyond, you can look that up, and I am sure you're gonna like it if you're into 80s, 90s rock. Speaking of Hong Kong music scene back in the days, it's also dominated by 四大天王. So in English, the translation sounds a bit weird. It's like 4 heavenly king, but you can think of them as like 4 really popular male singer and maybe actors or just artists in general during the time, and they were so popular in mainland China, especially Andy Lau, Lau Da Hua. So who are they, the 4 heavenly kings, 四大天王? So the first one is definitely Lau Da Hua, and then 郭富城, Lai Ming, and Zhang Hokyao. And out of the 4 of them, they have different styles, but the best vocal, like the king of vocal, is definitely Jackie Cheung, Zhang Hokyao. I think Hong Kong people love to hear him sing live so much that it's so hard to get a ticket to his concerts. So we describe that as 一票難求. So very hard to even get one ticket. And his famous songs, 只想一生跟你走, Only Want to Be With You is the most famous one, and it's a love song. It's very touching. It's very like committed to one person for your whole life kind of concept, and it's like a ethos of like old Chinese marriages and relationships. So my mom and dad love it. And I talked earlier that I was gonna mention Fei Wang Fei to you guys, because she is arguably my favorite Cantonese female singer, and she was also in Chongqing's Express, and I think she sometimes does movies too, but she mostly just do singing. She sings super well, obviously, and her lyricist is usually Lamzik, and I love their collaboration so much. Like, her voice and his words are like the ultimate combination, and it's so divine. And her voice is sometimes described as like very divine, very out of the worldly, and her image is it's like one of a kind. She goes about stuff in her own way. She doesn't give a shit about paparazzi, and she at the time when like the artist's life is very scrutinized by the public, she does her own thing. And I think she had 2 divorces, which was like, you know, a bit uncommon in terms of like Chinese artists, but she didn't really care about what people think, which I really admire. Like, why should she care, right? It's her life. Like, why does being an artist mean she needs to like stay in a relationship that no longer serves her, you know what I mean? And I think she is iconic in a way of how she carries herself and lives her life. And obviously her art is really good too. And yeah, her daughter also recently made a debut, not recently, maybe a couple years ago, made a debut in mainland China, because the whole family is based there. And the daughter is really talented too. So it's called Dao Jingtong. So you can look her up too. Maybe I will link it in the show note. So yeah, Fei Wang, and her famous songs are Hong Dao, Red Bean, and it's about missing someone. And her recent hit is 匆匆那年, 匆匆那年, is a Mandarin song, because Fei Wang is originally from China. I think she's from Beijing or north of China. So she sings in both Cantonese and Mandarin. And one of her great Cantonese hit is 梦中人. It's like so like like it's just really nice. I wish I could play you guys some clips of like those music, like those tracks, but I'm so scared I might get into some royalty issue. So I'm just gonna hum it and like imitate it with my bad singing, if you don't mind. So yeah, that's Fei Wang for you. And the last artist I'm going to suggest you listen to is Eason Chan. He is still very in trend nowadays. Like, everybody knows about Eason Chan. He is like the king of canto-pop. I think he was first active in the 2000s or maybe late 90s. He's about my parents' age, I think. And my parents listen to him quite a bit too, and I do too. He's like a very ageless, and like he's listened by multiple generations basically. The ones I mentioned earlier are more like my parents' generation, like youngster we still listen to them, but it's like very rare occasion. Or yeah, we have our own stuff, which I'm going to talk to you about in Hong Kong Dispatch. But yeah, Eason Chan is like the bridge that links together two generations. So I think it's fitting to put him at the end of this as a bridge between this episode and the Hong Kong Dispatch episode. And for Eason Chan, he's hit like my favorite song of him is actually a very niche one. It's called 落花流水. It was recommended by my dad, or maybe not recommended by him. It's more like we were driving and he was playing it, and then he told me he really likes this song. And it's about like I will call a Chinese poem, 不在乎天長地久，只在乎曾經擁有. It's like, it translates to, it doesn't matter how long you have it, only if you have had it once. No matter if it was love or a friendship or like a family member, like it's like to remind you to cherish the time you have with them and the connection you have with them. And sometimes a relationship's quality is not judged by the duration and the length of it. That's the gist of it, and I think the message is very beautiful. And in my parents' wedding, the theme song they play was 幸福摩天輪, so it's like a cute love song, and I think they made a film out of their wedding photos, and that was the song they chose for the film. So I have a personal like connection to that song because of that. And another song that is very famous by Eason Chan is 富士山下. But this song is like a bit creepy to be fair for me, because it's about someone harming themselves because of a breakup. Because 富士山下 is under the Mount Fuji, and the area at the bottom of Fuji Mountain is famous for people committing suicide. So that's the reference to it, which is kind of dark, but it's a very famous song of Eason Chan. So those are the ones I would recommend you start with, and then you can dive into it, because there are so many great hits from Eason, and I think you will enjoy them a lot. So those are, I think, the culturally significant ones on top of my head, but obviously different people will have different opinion as to what's significant, and these are just my perspective and the ones I liked, and I would say it could be quite biased, and to be fair, I only spent the first 14 years of my life in Hong Kong, and then I was in the UK for a decade, so my view could be a bit skewed as well, and things would be different if you ask different people. But the only guarantee I can give you is that these are the really famous singers like everybody knows about in Hong Kong. I don't know about the Gen Alpha kid, but at least as a Gen Z, I think me and my friends know about them for the most part, and definitely my parents' generation and millennials, boomers, and those generations, they know for sure. And I really hope it will help you to have a better connection with your family, and I think it's important to know about cultural references, and it will help you sound more native and relatable just by knowing about them. And yeah, and those songs are really nice to listen to too, so I hope you really enjoy it. I will talk to you way more on my favorite music, my favorite Cantonese music, and the songs loved by my generation, so Gen Z, in the next episode in Hong Kong Dispatch, so stay tuned for that. And by the way, like I mentioned in the beginning, Hong Kong Dispatch is our pay content, and I usually do one episode per week, and you can have access to our whole archive and the new episode by subscribing for $6 per month. And yeah, I would really appreciate if you would support us this way. If you can, that's fine too. If you enjoy our free content, be sure to subscribe or follow or share to people, or just spread the words, and hopefully it will reach more audience, and that will make me very happy. Thank you guys for your continued support, and thanks for listening to another episode of Canto Be Like. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.